Hi traders, welcome to our weekly update on the euro dollar, pound dollar. This is Chris from Elite Currency. Let's take a look at the charts. All right, let's kick off with this euro dollar weekly chart. We see a bullish weekly candle with a wick at the bottom again and a close near the high indicating a bullish bounce. And we have the HMA for the first time on the weekly chart up again after a long series of bearish HMA. Now considering all of these wicks here, I think we're seeing a bounce. I think we're seeing a potential reversal to the upside considering the support that we can see in the weekly candles. This looks like a first correction, this looks like a second correction, and price might be moving up here for a third correction. In other words, a WXY for Elliott wave analysis and fans. Now whether this Y will go up to these resistance levels, right, and then turn for one more push lower, or will it break above that and make a deeper correction, that will indicate whether price is in still a wave 4 or will retrace within a wave 2. In any case, we can put a fib from here to here as well to get extra resistance levels, and you can see around this zone is key because it's a 38.2 fib. All right, so if price bounces at this 38, if there's a bearish daily candle for instance in this zone, I think one more lower low is possible for a wave 5 within that bigger wave A, and then I would expect price to bounce at 114.50 and move up for a wave B and then down again for a wave C. If price breaks above the 38.2 fib, let's say a price moves up, makes a flag, then moves up again and breaks above that flag, then I don't think it's a wave 4 anymore. In that case, I think price already completed a wave A and it's going up for wave B. In that case, I'll move the fib from here to here. All right, and I think then in that case, we're looking for price to head up to the 50, 61, 78.6 fib, looking for bearish candlestick patterns at these fibs and a turn back down towards the minus 272 target or the minus 61.8 target like this in a zigzag pattern, and we could complete in that case in bearish ABC. Then I would expect 5 waves up again, but that depends, of course, if price is moving very quickly to the downside. Then in that case, it might not be a wave C, but it might be a wave 3. So that's something that still depends on the price patterns that unfold. If price breaks above this top, then obviously the bearishness on the euro dollar is not correct in that case. Or if we see very strong momentum breaking through these fibs, you got to be careful not to short it in this zone. Although I expect price to bounce, I expect price to reverse in this zone. It doesn't necessarily have to happen. So I'm looking for candlestick patterns here for a move down, and then candlestick patterns here for a move up again. All right, that's my number one path to least resistance, what I'm expecting at this moment. Now, with regard to the near future, you can see that's why I was careful about this downside, and indeed, price made an ABC into that 115.75 zone. Perhaps if you follow our wave analysis and other videos, you were aware of that, and we had an ABC here, ABC up, ABC down, now expecting a ABC up again, at least towards this resistance zone, and then we'll have to see if price bounces or breaks. We'll have to take a look at the daily candles, 4-hour candles. Do we get patterns? What kind of patterns in that zone? I personally think that we'll get, my expectation is we get an ABC, then we get some kind of flag and a break of that flag. That's what I'm expecting, but let's see, it's a bit too far ahead to tell precisely. Price is still in a triangle kind of pattern right now, as you can see, and it bounced off the bottom of that triangle. It had a pretty bullish day on Friday, so let's zoom in. Let me renew this template because or let me get rid of this fib at least so that it's not too crowded. All right, good. 4-hour chart, maybe even 1-hour chart first of all. So looks like we had 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For those that saw my wave analysis on Friday, you already know that I thought this was a wave 4 because it was a triangle. Right here, typical triangle pattern, break to the upside. Looks like price made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that this is a wave 5. If that's true, we might expect an ABC. That's what I'm expecting now. I would put a fib from here to here. All right, because this is probably that wave A. Let me recap for you. ABC up, ABC down. Now expecting ABC up. So this could be the end of wave 5. It is at a resistance spot. It is at a trend line, right? So let's see. There's a bit of a wick on the 4-hour chart. That's not a pin bar though, but could indicate some exhaustion. So let's see how the week opens. But personally, I'm leaning towards A to the 38.2 fib, a B back up to the trend line, then a C that can go down to the 50 or 61.8 fib, maybe the 78.6 fib, build even a potential head and shoulders or bounces off one of these fibs, and then builds 5 waves up again to the upside. Now, that all of that might not happen necessarily next week. It could be over the next 2-3 weeks perhaps, but this is what I think is the most likely. If price does move up higher, because we're not all too, 100% sure here that this is necessarily finished, we can put a fib on the wave 3, and you can see that there's a good chance, because price did go up to the minus 61.8 target, but sometimes waves 5 become extended. It's possible that if price makes a small bull flag here, then breaks that bull flag, that it can go up to this target, maybe even this target, right? But that's quite pushing it, but I guess possible. But then eventually, I would then, in that case, put the fib from here to here, and then expect yet again ABC before moving up. So there could be, perhaps after a small flag, still a breakout. I wouldn't expect it myself, but you never know. For the moment, I think that a correction like this is more likely, and then upside. So that's the euro dollar side. Let's take a look at the pound dollar and take a look at the weekly chart, just like we did with the euro dollar. Now, it's a little bit different. It's a bearish candle, but there is a wick again at the bottom. So you can see that pound dollar is a little bit more bearish than the euro dollar, but it is also struggling a little bit with the downside. It is showing difficulties with moving substantially lower with momentum. HMA is still down, so any reversal trades, any upside trades that show dollar weakness, it's probably better to trade the euro dollar. Dollar strength is probably better to trade with the pound dollar downside, just based on the weekly candles for the moment. Now, on the daily chart, I was leaning with the pound dollar 2 towards a ABC correction. That didn't happen. We actually had here a failure, and we made one more lower low. Now, it's possible that this could be an ABC correction, and considering Friday's bullish candle right here, I think that's becoming a little bit likely at this moment. So what could be taking place is that this is an A, or W, and this is an X, and up we go for a Y. Now, we did break this bottom, so some of you might be wondering, how is that possible? Let's put a fib from here to here. And you can see that as long as price stays above the 138.2 fib, it's actually possible that the price breaks this bottom, but it's still a correction. All right, so I'm not all too sure about this particular pattern, but it's possible that this is a WX. Considering Friday's candle, we might be now in a Y, for a bullish correction to the upside. It remains a little bit difficult read on the pound dollar in my view, but seems most likely, because otherwise I wouldn't know how to, well, you could explain it as a 1-2, because look, price already went into this zone, right? So this cannot be a wave 3 anymore. Otherwise, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's not possible anymore, unless it's an ending diagonal. But I don't think that is likely, considering, let's see, 133.16, 260 pips was the first swing, and that's 300 was the next one, 340. The third wave has to be actually smaller for an ending diagonal than the first one, so it cannot be that, in my view at least. And bounce off the bottom of the channel here. I think it is probably most likely scenario, right? Channel bounce, and I think we're going to see an ABC to the upside as well. I'm leaning towards that. So let's take a look at the hourly chart. Here we see probably a wave 1, 2, 3. We probably get it a 4 and a 5 first. That doesn't seem complete. On the pound, we might get a bounce here at this head and shoulders level, make a move up for wave 5, then maybe bounce at, for instance, this resistance trend line like this, make a 3-wave pattern down, make a head and shoulders, a deeper head and shoulders here, and then move up again with another 5 waves to complete that ABC correction. All right, that seems the most likely at this moment. Price has broken above the HMA, the 21 EMA here zone. HMA is bullish, so I think we might get that correction on the pound dollar as well. All right, and we might use the 21 EMA on the 1-hour chart as a bouncing spot like this to go up to that resistance trend line. All right, and that's about it for the moment. I think that in the larger picture, this could be finishing a wave 1, and this could be going up for a wave 2, but for that to be confirmed, we need price to break above the 21 EMA on the daily chart, the trend line, and probably even this top. Let me take a look where that is. I think 134, 133.50 before we have a bigger chance of indeed wave 2 taking place. Otherwise, this could, I guess, all still be part of a wave 4. So we got to be careful that although an ABC is likely at this point, I think, like this, wait, up, ABC, up, that we have to be careful that price could still bounce here in this zone to complete the wave 4 and then move down again. If it breaks above, of course, that would indicate a potential bigger bullish breakout for a wave 2 deeper correction to the upside. All right, I think I mentioned everything I wanted to mention. Might have forgotten 1 or 2 things. I hope not. Otherwise, we'll be back on Tuesday with a new video. Of course, Nenad has his Monday, look on the Forex market, of course, at 6 p.m. live webinar. So check that out. And thanks for joining this. Was happy to be here with you. More free analysis as well you can find at elitecurrency.com. Cheers and good trading.